building starters. Building for different purposes. What do you put in your blueprints to make a building strong? Mary Ellen. We often use beams and columns. Beams and columns give the building support. Beam, column. Question. What do you like most about designing buildings? Mary Ellen. I like the creative process, and it's wonderful to see the final product, a building that people will use. Making buildings strong and stable. Mary Ellen Lynch talked about how architects use strong materials and strong shapes to make buildings strong. Architects also want to make sure that their buildings are stable so they don't wobble or move. Let's look at some of the shapes and materials architects use in building plans to make sure a building will be stable. A strut is a bar made of metal or wood. It is placed in the frame of a building to help the frame support the building's weight. Struts help to make a building strong and stable. A tie, sometimes called a tie beam, is a root or beam that holds parts of the building structure together. A buttress can be made of stone, brick, or wood. The buttress is built against a wall to give it more strength. Buildings for the environment. When architects plan a building, they need to think about the environment around the building. A building's design has to be right for its environment. Some buildings are built in areas that get lots of snow. If you've ever shoveled snow, you know that it can be very heavy. Too much snow on a roof can make it collapse. For areas that get lots of snow, architects often design buildings that have roofs with a steep slope. The slope lets snow slide off the roof. In some areas of the world, earthquakes often happen. For these areas, architects design buildings to be especially strong so they won't collapse during an earthquake. Today, we know how to make buildings that are stronger than old buildings. During an earthquake, old buildings sometimes collapse, while many new buildings remain standing. Most buildings have a foundation that is built beneath the ground. That's why construction workers start a building by digging a hole. The foundation is built in the hole. In areas where the ground is frozen solid all year round, it's impossible to dig a hole for the foundation. So architects design buildings that do not have an underground foundation. Architects try to use building materials that are available close to the building site. It's more expensive to bring in materials from far away. In areas where there are lots of forests that provide wood for building, many homes are built of wood. In some areas there is lots of clay for making bricks. Brick homes are often built in these areas of the country. Unusual buildings. Some architects use their imagination to design buildings that are very different from most designs we see. take a look at some of these unusual buildings. This apartment building was built in 1967. People were amazed by its unusual design. This roundhouse has a motor that allows it to rotate. It's hard to find a straight line anywhere in the Spanish museum designed by architect Frank Gehry. This building in Barcelona, Spain, was designed around 1900 by architect Antoni Gaudí. The design of the Sydney Opera House in Australia is famous all around the world. It took 14 years to complete construction. Design a building challenge. Now it's your turn to be an architect. Your challenge is to design a portable classroom for your school. Work with a small group. Do research. Look around your classroom and think about the different ways your classroom is used. Talk to teachers and students about what they would like to see in a design for a classroom. 2. Make sketches. Sketch different ideas for how the portable classroom might look on the inside and outside. Then choose your best idea. Create a model. Build a simple model to show your ideas to others. Think about what materials you can use to build your model. You could start with a shoebox and then draw squares and rectangles to show where desks and tables would go. Remember to include windows and blackboards. Build for stability. Use craft sticks or other materials to build a frame for your classroom. Think about how you could use struts, ties, and buttresses to make your classroom stable. Question. What are the 4 steps architects follow when they design a building? List the steps in order. 2. What 3 structural supports do architects use to make buildings stable? Explain what each one does. Why do architects think about the environment around a building? List 3 reasons. 4. What building in your neighborhood do you like best? Explain why do you like it. Glossary. Architect. A person who designs buildings and supervises their construction. Beam. A horizontal piece of wood or steel that helps to support weight in a building. Blueprint. The detailed plans that architects create for a building. Buttress. A structure built against a wall to give it more strength. Column. A vertical piece of wood or steel that helps support weight in a building. Columns may also be made from concrete. Foundation. The bottom part of a building that the rest of the structure sits on. The foundation is often built into the ground. Frame. The skeleton of the building, which makes the building strong and stable. Model. A small version of what a finished building will look like. Skyscraper. A very tall building. Stable. Doesn't move or change position. Struts. A metal or wooden bar placed in a building's frame to make it stronger. Tie or tie beam. A rod or beam that holds parts of a building together. At-home activities. Write and match captions. Work with your child to write captions for each of the photographs in the book. Divide the photos between you so that each of you is writing captions for a different set of photos. When you both have completed your writing, take turns choosing from each other's collection of captions, reading them and finding the photograph that matches the caption. If you write on self-stick notes, you can attach the captions to the appropriate photos. Design a body. Revise pages 20 and 21 for ideas about designing a body. Help your child decide what kind of body he or she would like to design and then help to collect materials for creating a model. Encourage your child to draw up a basic plan, blueprint, before starting to build the actual model. Look through the book for details about structures.